Simon, there's been a huge scandal recently surrounding Barton, Barton, Barton and Barton. And I know that although you've said that you weren't directly involved in that, I know you did have some contact with them. So what is going on there, and how have they managed to make such a big mistake?
Well, big mistake. I have actually spoken several times to Messrs. Barton and their board on a number of occasions because some of their clients came to me and were just fed up at Barton, 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 Barton inventing new ways to send and leak their confidential information via email. We've had wills go to the wrong place. We've had contract documents being accidentally emailed to the wrong people. We've had emails that contain personal data that were sent out via their US and email servers and out via China. You name it, Bartons have managed to break just about every rule in the book when it comes to email.
So whose fault is it, Simon? I mean, is it their fault for being ignorant, or is it your fault for not advising them better?
Well, we gave them the advice. In fact, we were prepared to give them the software. But they were just so arrogant that they just do not believe that email threat is a risk. I mean, they really do not understand what they're doing to their customers. And that's partly it. They were just simply looking at what it is to their risk, that arrogance that said, don't worry, we've got an email disclaimer at the bottom of our emails that basically say, if your data leaks, tough, we're going to deal with you by email anyway. So there's not a lot of comeback, and of course they work on the basis that who sues their lawyer, and there's just that arrogance there that they don't need to really protect their own client data.
But wouldn't it have been enormously difficult for them to protect their client data? Isn't it really hard to do this stuff?
No, not at all. I mean, we came in and showed them in 10 minutes how to encrypt an email for them. In fact, we could have switched it on in 2 hours for Barton, Barton and Barton and Barton. And simply we have the easiest training course in the world. Once it's set up, all you had to do was type #encrypt at the top of the email and everything would have been done for them. I mean, it couldn't have been simpler, less than £10 a head. I mean, they are charging upwards of £1,000 an hour for the top aspects of their legal, the top people in their legal firm, and yet they don't think that they're spending £10 an hour, £10 per person rather, to send per month, to send as many emails as you want protected was good value for money.
Give me your personal feelings about the senior partner there, Steven Barton.
Well, he's an imbecile, really, isn't he? I mean, he's just looking at it, he has no understanding of the technology, he has no understanding nor care about a client risk, and that's the key thing. It's not about the technology, it's how much do you care about your clients, how much is really behind your claim to taking reasonable steps for client confidentiality. They take none of those, and they are now starting to get caught on a regular basis through data leakage.
Based on what's happened with Barton, Barton, Barton and Barton, what's your advice to the legal profession in general?
Well, it doesn't need to be complicated. mkryptor out there provides one of the many easy-to-use tools that are second generation now coming onto the market. Different tools fit different scenarios. As will deal with nearly all of the legal profession and accountancy profession, they have no excuses. They have compliance managers in each of the legal firm. They have obligations for client confidentiality, and the majority of the UK's legal firms are breaching that on a regular basis. It's only a matter of time before they catch up. As soon as the SRA and the Law Society start to wonder why their advice is so poor, why they're not compelling this sector to actually start to take the protection that's needed. Now that it is cheap, affordable and very usable, there are no excuses left to hide behind.